outrageous thoughts in my head. And told me, Lois Chapman's in the hospital. She had a baby, and it's yours. I said, bullshit, right? So I went to Baltimore to University Hospital to see. I want to look at the baby, right? I truly, that's the only time I've been tricked by a woman, and that was because I decided to let her trick me.
Okay.
On the run, I went down there and got a new Social Security number under a new name, and I was happy.
Well, they want to bring you in for questioning for the liquor store, correct?
Right.
A robbery at the liquor store. Now, other than it being a robbery, was there any type of shooting there?
One I love, two she loves, three she's true to me.
Other than it being a robbery, was there any type of shooting there?
They shot me in my leg. The police.
Okay, you were shot, but no civilian was shot.
No, just me.
Okay, so this would have been a second robbery.
No.
Because in 71, you were convicted of murder.
They said it was a robbery, but it wasn't. It was in 71. In 70, the guy name was Tom Lewis, and I killed him, but I didn't murder him.
Okay.
We were fighting. I beat him up because we was on the corner hustling, right? I was up there just hanging out, doing strong arm robberies and stuff like that. And they called him Junkie Tom, Slick Tom, Killer Tom. He was a bad dude. Really, he was a real nefarious person. He sees these schoolgirls going by, and he says, "Damn, I'd like to fuck that one in the ass." Mm-hmm. And the one he's talking about is one of my baby sisters who's walking home from school. You know, she wasn't on the corner. I mean, there's a Haas ice cream store, a parking lot, and a little wooded area, but it's right next to a street called Nash Street. And my baby sister was coming home from Bethune Junior High School, and her and a couple of her friends, and he's talking about her. So I beat him up, bip up, bip up, bip up, bip. And I explained to him, that's my baby sister. I don't ever want you to looking at her saying nothing to her when she come through here. And she'll come through, and none of you motherfuckers up here better not say nothing. And y'all know who I am, because I was rated a really bad fella, really bad guy, right? A real knucklehead, a crash dummy who would jump on anybody and beat them up, right? And I just got off from that first homicide, so I had a reputation. And he sent me a message 2 days later and said, "Look, meet me up on the hill. I want to talk to you. We're gonna squash this beef." Da da da. I said, "Okay." I said, "I'll be there at 8:30 because I got something to do over in Northeast." So, but I show up on that corner at about 7:30, 7:45, right?
Okay.
Early. I'm an hour early for the meeting. He don't see me. He got a little buddy with him named Mac Gibbs. Mac sees me, but Mac don't want to say nothing because I'm looking Mac in the face. Tom's got his back to me. Mac's facing Tom, looking at me. I walked up. I said, "You want to see me, man?" So Tom turned around. He had a bag. So he said, "Yeah." He dropped the bag, took what's in it, was a sawed-off shotgun. So I'm standing there. I think he's gonna swing it at me and try to hit me with it. No. He takes the stock and the barrel, put it together. Then he hit the lever, open up. He go in his pocket. And I'm standing watching the whole time. He put selling. Boom, boom. Double barrel set up on this about. The whole thing is about 20 inches long, maybe 22 inches long. And, it's got them old rabbit ears on it. So he goes to swing it around. I grab it with this hand, the barrel. And I grab the stock with this hand. So I wasn't interested in throwing no punches, but I didn't want him to shoot me.
Okay.
I stomped on his foot and butt him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pull a gun at the same time. I pull it with so much force, I turn myself around. But when I'm coming around, if the thing go off, now, I don't have the triggers. He's got the triggers in his hand. It go off, and both barrels went off and hit him here.
Okay.
Decapitated him right there on the spot. I'll never forget that as long as I live. If I think about it too long, it fucked my head up for real. That was, I'm a fighter, not a killer. I'm not. That ain't me, right?
Right.
I've never intentionally killed anybody in my life. But when I fight hard. Anyway, he went down. His buddy Matt Gibbs has got a pistol in his hand. I think he's going to shoot me. So I turned around and walked away. I was crying. I was crying, big tears. I was wailing, crying. Walking away. Where I walked off the parking lot, across Nash Street and up Sheriff Road and out of Maryland into Washington, D.C., which wasn't that far away. And state of Maryland, to justify arresting me, said I was robbing him, that I robbed him. The two people who testified against me didn't even see the crime. They didn't know nothing about it. It was a complete setup, because I found out later on that Tom got the shotgun and was told to kill me by my rap partner, a guy named Sonny Swan. Sonny was, we had a stick-up crew. Me, Sonny, got Charlie, and the Pear brothers, Charlie Pear and his brother, and Clarence Durant. And we go out and rob drug dealers and number backers and stuff like that. You know what a number backer is?
I think so.
A number backer is guys who played the lottery before the state took over.
Okay.
Like in the movie Hoodlum, they was betting Okay, the number backers. We was taking money like that, home invasions and stuff like that. This was back in the 70s. We were doing home invasions on people, right? So, I took off some money. I took off about $2,800 off a guy, and the guy told everybody, "I'm gonna kill Frog. He robbed me. Took $2,800. He robbed me. He went up on the corner and told everybody he's gonna kill me and all this stuff." And because I had beat him up, took his money and his gun. He had a gun on him.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I've lost your video, and I can't hear you talking.
This conference will now be recorded.
I stopped the recording for a second, but it's recording now. You said what?
Okay, now I felt like he thought I was some kind of punk, because I'm gonna do the work and he gonna take my money. So I told Sonny, I'm not letting you take nothing, and fuck you. I ain't got to hang out with you. You know, I can do my own robberies. I don't need you. You know, I'm a killer. You a killer, because Sonny Swan was a killer. He was a cold-blooded killer. You know, and a gangster for real, for real. I mean,
Okay.
but but he gave Tom the shotgun, because I knew the shotgun when I saw it. It was Sonny's shotgun. And from what I learned later was he told Tom that he ought to kill me because one, I skunked them out of some money, and two, he said stuff like, "Yeah, that young punk motherfucker, he think he can get away with this, that, and the other. He think he tough and stuff like that. He got to be less and all that kind of shit, right?" So
Right.
that's how that went. But I was a crazy damn fool. I didn't kill him about none of them. That's what it was about. That's why when he said it about my sister and I beat him up, he was mad about the whipping, but Sonny told him to shoot me with that shotgun. So
So your sister wasn't there at the time.
no.
Okay.
He said that on like a Thursday, on a Tuesday. This went down on like a Thursday. It was December the 14th, I think. It was December of 1970 when the crime actually committed, right?
Okay.
It was committed. So, you know, he didn't make it. As far as I'm concerned, you know, I only lose sleep over the goriness of how he died. I don't lose no sleep over killing him, you know, because he was trying to kill me. So, I don't have no remorse for killing him, none.
Right. So let me ask you a question. So with this one right here, so we're not talking about the manslaughter one. And we're not talking about the one in 1983, the liquor store one. We're talking about the one where you originally got tried and you appealed this case. Let's see. Looks like you appealed it. But before you appealed the case, when you first got tried, do you remember what you pleaded? And
My lawyer pleaded me not guilty and not guilty by reason of insanity.
okay, so by you pleading guilty, excuse me, I'm sorry, not guilty and not guilty by reason of insanity, why do you think your lawyer didn't do a self-defense case?
Because there's no such thing as self-defense in the state of Maryland.
Okay, so you would have had to go with insanity, that you just lost it.
One I love, two she loves, three she's true to me.
See, he was playing both sides, I think, because he wanted to help me because he didn't believe I murdered the guy, but somebody had it in for me for some reason, for whatever, I don't know, because he could have pled me not guilty by reason of justifiable killing, right? Because it was justifiable and accidental, right? It was an accident. But had he pled me like that, I got to get on the stand and tell the story. And I was willing to do that. But he didn't want me on the stand because I had just gotten off parole for manslaughter.
Right.
Right? And I told him I didn't care, but I didn't want to die. I don't want to die in the gas chamber in the state of Maryland. So, but he pled me not guilty by reason of insanity. I said, well, okay, maybe we can win it, you know? And like I said, I was at that point in my life, I was a crazy, stupid fool. I was getting smarter because court kept sending me paperwork and I kept reading it and memorizing it. So when I went in the courtroom for the trial, I knew pretty much what was going on because I had my lawyer's secretary gave me some, she didn't give me books, she Xeroxed, made copies of portions of books, the stuff I need to know that I asked for. And she sent them to me. You know, so I was kind of up on what was going on, but it was moving kind of fast. And then in Upper Marlboro, the police beat me so bad, they jumped on me, called me nigger boy, and I stabbed him in the neck with a pencil. Because I figured, well, I'm gonna get a life sentence or a death penalty. Let me go on and kill one of these cops.
Right.
So he's a big fat white lieutenant cop, called me nigger boy and poked his finger in my chest. So I had a number 2 pencil in my pockets. I pulled it out and stabbed him in his neck and broke it off. So 5 of them got together and they hit me on my head and kind of knocked me out, chained me, drugged me to the hole, and beat me for a day and a half, beat and stomped me. But then they broke my breastbone, they broke my shoulder, they kicked out my teeth, they fucked up my eye and my back, and they stomped in my groin so bad until they thought I was gonna die. But it wasn't no, and they didn't take me to the hospital. They said like, let's kill him. So they was gonna take me outside and kill me, but when they took me outside, there was an old white guy on a horse. He said, what y'all boys getting ready to do? So they looked at him and looked at each other and said, nothing. And they had me in the back of a pickup truck. They took off in the pickup truck and took me to the Maryland Penitentiary in Baltimore. Drove me all the way there in the rain, all beat up, and put me there for safekeeping. They told them that the inmates did it to me. And in the Maryland Penitentiary, you put me on South Wing segregation until PG County get back to me. While I was there, I got a court order to be sent to Clifton T. Perkins for psychiatric evaluation as part of the trial.
Oh, okay.
That's where they said I was functionally illiterate, had a shaky grasp on reality, and because I stuttered, I had a psychiatric handicap.
Okay.
So, in other words, I was stupid, couldn't tell the truth, and stupid, a liar, and volatile.
Do you agree with that?
Hell no.
Okay.
One, I'm not stupid. I have a 3-digit IQ. Speak English fluently. Speak American fluently. I speak some Arabic. I used to speak some Japanese and a little German. I memorized volumes of legal stuff. I still remember most of it because I'm not out as a result of an appeal that a lawyer filed for me. I'm out as a result of an appeal that I filed.
Okay, so I only asked you that question because I don't think you are any of those things. However, I didn't know if you thought you might have been. And I only asked you that because everything that you listed based on whether you were stupid, a liar, or volatile, all of your answers, they don't defend that you're not any of those things. They are all learned behaviors. All learned things. So that's the only reason that I asked.
My father.
Because you could definitely be like a liar and like a mass manipulator.
Yeah.
And
the reason why I don't like to, I couldn't manipulate people. I'm smart enough to. I'm educated enough to do that. But I don't give a fuck what they think. Or
right.
I just fuck them. The whole world. People say I'm cold-blooded for being that way, but I learned you can't go around worrying about what people think or what they might do because people have their own insecurities and their own shortcomings, and they'll take it out on you.
Yeah.
I've seen guys get killed for being smarter than somebody. I've seen guys get killed for being tough guys. I've seen I've seen a lot of mayhem, murder in my life. You know, I had to learn to be a ruthless, dangerous man to keep guys from taking advantage of me, killing me, raping me, or doing things in my name and putting it on me. I learned to defend myself. Self-defense starts here.
Mm-hmm.
And that if you don't have a good grip on this, anything can happen to you.
Yeah.
And having a good grip on this keeps me alive, keeps me free. Because, I mean, the state of Maryland was upset that I stayed on the run for 19 years. They thought I would get caught.
Oh, I thought it was 17 years you stayed on the run.
19.
Oh, okay.
Well, 17 or 19. From 83 to 2001. Was that 17?
My math isn't the greatest.
Okay. So and then I don't get caught then if I don't tell somebody about my secret.
Right. Right.
And I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I know that when they brought me back, they were determined to let me die in prison. But I had since I memorized the codes, I just started filing in court. And when I got in front of a judge, I reminded him that the balance of my natural life, he thought that stay till you die. I said, no, sir. The natural life is addicted. It is an oral dictation to the time limit being however long a lifespan is.
Mm-hmm.
He says, that's a crazy reading. I said, that's the way it is. I said, read it. That's how he sentenced me. So, how I got back in court was I had filed a long time ago. I had filed a thing for reconsideration.
Hold on, before you go back to that, tell me about the day that you got. Hold on. Okay, so we'll go all the way back to the actual trial, excuse me, trial court and all that. But since you did bring up the fact of the 19 years and then I said 17, that's just numbers. But you're on the run. How did you get caught to get back in jail?
I was messing with a girl, this woman named, actually, I told a guy named Khalid Muhammad. Remember him?
Okay.
He had a guy with him named Malik Zulu Shabazz. He was an attorney. I think, I don't know for sure, I think somebody with more resources than me can go see if they can get the Cobb County police to pull up the arrest record. But I told them about my predicament in Maryland. And as a member of the New Black Panther Party, Khalid Muhammad wanted me to be Southern Regional Chairman. He wanted to be, he was the Supreme Commander, Supreme Chairman, Supreme Commander, right?
Okay.
But he wanted a Southern Regional Chairman and a Northern Regional Chairman. In other words, split America into two halves. And my job would be to be like a national field marshal. Field marshal being someone who handles logistics, meaning because I was so convinced, I would go to black people and convince them to let us have meetings in their restaurants, in their stores, in the parks. And to do this, I had to dress up and go and talk to county and state officials and stuff. So this made me a real asset.
All on the run.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't view myself as on the run. I view myself as on the run, and then I started acting like I'm on the run. I didn't act like I was on the run. I'm a free man. I'm do me.
Because you were paroled out. A judge hadn't told you you were guilty of anything else. You was just called in for questioning. or they wanted you to come back for questioning type of thing?
No, Patuxent wanted me to come back to Patuxent to let them lock me up
Right.
for 6 months while they figure it out.
Oh, wow, investigation and all that. Okay.
But I went down. I was in Annapolis, and I saw how those white people were really angry that I was out, and I wasn't fucking with them. I went on about my business.
And you are aware that you were listed as someone who escaped, not as someone. Okay, go ahead.
But you know, when they brought me back, they said, "We're taking you to court for escape." I said, "Do you?"
Right. Okay.
So the state's attorney, one of their clerks came to see me and said, "We charge you with escape." So I said, "Read the escape statute."
Right.
So they read the escape statute. And as far as state of Maryland goes, escape, one who escapes from confinement.
Correct. True.
One who breaks or escapes from confinement. I wasn't confined.
Because you were out on parole, not out on work release. You were out on parole.
And all they could do is give me a parole violation. But I wasn't put on regular parole. I was on a thing called a community leave program, with community parole. So I didn't have. The only thing they could do is say I absconded.
Okay.
And in the law in the state of Maryland, there's no charge for absconding.
Okay.
One I love, two she loves, three she's true to me.
When you spoke about the brick, when you had stated that your father didn't step in, did your mother and father have any type of marital issues? Okay.
And I don't believe I killed a dude because he was alive when I left.
1970, you are sitting at the I would say like the jail waiting to be booked, and you tell the detective Rossi, something like that, you want to make a phone call, and you call who?
You know?
Right. So when did you realize that you were Black?
I'm missing a lot. A lot of stuff I'd like to ask them right now. Stuff when the crime actually committed, right?
Okay.
It was committed. So, he didn't make it. As far as I'm concerned,